Hello everyone, I'm Jordan Dillon.
And I'm Sydney Kirk.
We begin this broadcast with exciting news. 2 South students have been recognized with National Scholastic Achievements.
Let's go to Dr. Dowd with the special presentations.
We're here with Jag TV today in Mrs. Morrill's classroom to recognize some individuals in our student body who have done exceptional things. Since 1955, the National Merit Scholarship Corporation has offered scholarships to students who are some of the best and the brightest in our nation. Last November, 1.5 million students took the PSAT test, and out of that, 1% of those students are selected as National Merit semifinalists. And we have one of those semifinalists in our classroom here today, and so we're here to congratulate Mariah Smith as a National Merit semifinalist. Congratulations, Mariah. So we're here to congratulate Sarah Douglas as the National Merit semifinalist. Okay. Congratulations, Sarah. We're proud of you. Thank you for representing our school.
Thanks, Dr. Dowd, and congratulations to both students.
Also, just last week, our own Mr. Schmelsley was recognized at the Rockhurst game.
Mr. Schmelsley played high school football at Rockhurst and was All-State and recognized by USA Today as All-American.
We will hear from Mr. Schmelsley later in this broadcast. In other news, when it comes to writing papers, essays, or personal stories, everyone has room for improvement.
Here at South, there is a student-led workshop that helps you do just that. Here's Olivia Lucas with more.
Writing isn't your strongest asset, or maybe you just want someone else's opinion on what you're working on, then the Student-Led Writing Center is perfect for you.
It's a student-run, commitment. And so it's students who have gone through the training through UMKC. They receive the same training as students at KU, Rockhurst University, the local community colleges, and it's a place where any student can come for help on a paper. Not just an English paper, any paper they write for any of their classes, to get help from another student, another peer. Tuesdays and Thursdays after school from 2:30 to 3:30. Wednesdays before school, including the late start times. It's room 309 in the 300 hall. It's Dr. Carter's classroom for part of the day, Mr. McClary's classroom for part of the day, but after school it's the Writing Center. Some students have been invited by their English teachers, and others, if you consider yourself a strong writer and probably also a strong reader, then you can help and you go through training. So even if you're not invited by your English teacher, but you know you have strong writing skills, you know what it feels like to have somebody critique your paper, and you want to help somebody improve as a writer, then you can talk to any of your English teachers, and we'll have trainings throughout the semester.
If you ever need some friendly advice on a paper, come check out the Student-Led Writing Center.
Hey Jaguars, here's some things coming up. Fall Fun Fest is going on this weekend in downtown Blue Springs. Pause Club meets first and third Thursdays of each month. For more information, go to Mrs. Laws in room number 917. The next college fair is Wednesday, October 5th here at South at 6:30 p.m. The GSA meets every Wednesday at 2:30 in Mrs. Bertrand's room 314. Also, help raise funds for the Future Teachers of America by purchasing a 24-ounce tumbler for $10 in Mrs. Schubert's room number 117. And finally, to join robotics, your entry form is due next Friday the 23rd. Ask Mr. Messick for the forms and more information.
Budget cuts have been made all across the school district. So how has this affected South High School? Let's find out with Jag TV reporter Jessica Canady.
Thanks, Sydney. The economy crisis has been affecting a lot of services and families on these United States. It took a while for it to hit Missouri, but once it did, the school board knew what to do and they were prepared.
The budget cuts last year were pretty effective, but seemed to affect more of the activities more than anything.
Well, I think we're real fortunate. Our budget cuts the previous 2 years before the current 2011 year were fairly dramatic, anywhere between 10 and 20% in terms of activities.
Lucky for us, when this happened, we had a solution.
Because we had some foresight to initiate those cost savings over the last 3 years, and added to that some improvement in the revenues generated by the state of Missouri, it places us in a better position.
Because of planning, they got to save a bunch of programs, like choir. Choir takes a lot of trips and does a lot of activities, and because of our school board, we got to keep it how it is.
Really the budget cuts haven't affected us all that much. Our school board has done a great job of figuring out what to do ahead of time so that the students really haven't felt a huge impact, at least in the choir programs. I know there are some, but in the choir programs, Dr. Dow has asked us to be careful with our budgets, and so we are watching our budgets and trying to be careful.
Like Mr. Bean, a lot of coaches and instructors were very thankful for their planning ahead for upcoming events.
We have the resources financially to do what we need to do. And again, I think that you need to attribute that to the wise planning of our superintendent, Dr. Kender, and our school board. They've done a great job.
So thanks, school board, for planning ahead and knowing what to do when the budget cuts have been affecting Missouri schools. If it weren't for you, we would miss out on a bunch of opportunities for these students. I'm Jessica Kennedy reporting for Jag TV. Back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. You see them every Friday night cheering on our team.
But they do a lot more than cheer. Here's Audrey Braga with a behind-the-scenes look at our very own cheer squad.
South cheerleaders were hard at work this past summer competing against other schools in a regional competition. I got a chance to speak with Megan Lester, coach of the cheer squad.
Hi, I'm Coach Lester. I coach the varsity squad at Blue Springs South. We competed against schools, Fort Osage, Staley, Raytown, and then other schools around the area. It's a regional competition, so it's obviously schools from our region. Now we've been practicing for our state competition, which is October 2nd down at Columbia. And we will be competing against several more schools from all the regions. We've been practicing 3 nights a week from 5 to 7:30. Again, running, jumping, tumbling, stunting. We're really excited about our competition and still a little bit of nervous because we know we're competing against schools with a lot of talent. So we are ready to bring home a state title to Blue Springs South. We just started competing and bringing home, or at least placing, 4 years ago at Blue Springs South. We placed 4th 3 years ago, and then we placed 8th last year. So we are competing in the 5A large division, so we'll be competing against other schools with 20 girls, any more than 18, but most schools have about 20 girls on their squad.
It takes a lot of practice to do these amazing stunts performed at games and competitions.
With stunting, it takes a lot of time, and we tend to have to swap people in and out trying to get groups that work well together. So a lot of our practice time is swapping girls out and trying to figure out who can do best in that stunt with the people that they're working with. We also use our football games not only to cheer for the boys, but also to practice our stunts in front of the student section and give us a little bit more practice versus just at our practice time.
Our South cheerleaders will be participating in the Fall Fun Fest this Saturday at 10 a.m. Hope to see you there. I'm Audrey Braga reporting for Jag TV, signing off.
Hey Jags, welcome to your Culver's here in Blue Springs. Have you ever wondered what makes our Butterburgers taste so delicious? Well hey, let's go find out.
So here we are in the Culver's kitchen with the real Wisconsin cheese, the fresh sliced tomatoes, the crisp lettuce, the freshly melted butter, and the magic bun toaster. The Culver's fresh baked buns. And where all the magic happens, the Culver's Grill. And to finish it off, a fresh, never frozen, real ground beef patty. Hey Jags, rumor has it the Culver's Grill Masters work out at this fitness center. Hey look, it's Zach and Tyler, 2 Culver's Grill Masters. Hey guys, what's going on?
Heard the alarm went off. Did somebody touch one of our spatulas?
I don't think anybody touched a spatula.
In Jaguar sports, our football team is on the road at Lee Summit West. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Get out and support them tonight. In other sports, coming up Tuesday the 20th, boys varsity swim team will host St. Pius at 4 p.m. Then on Thursday the 22nd, girls varsity softball will host Truman. Now, earlier in this broadcast, you heard about Mr. Schmelsley's recognition at last week's football game. He not only played at Rockhurst, but was named an All-State and All-USA Today American.
Well, it was an honor. It was a surprise. I really felt like it was a culmination of my high school playing career as an individual, but I really, at the time that I found out, was so caught up in our team trying to win a second state championship that, I didn't really have time to process it until after the season was over. And then it was nice to reflect on.
Next, I asked Mr. Schmelsley what it was like to win back-to-back championships.
Well, the first time was, I thought, the best day of my life up to that point. I had never tasted success at that high a level with my teammates. So it was just thrilling. The second time being a senior and the captain of the team felt like more pressure to repeat, but still really a great feeling to reach that summit with my teammates, particularly since so many of them hadn't got to be on the field the year before.
If you didn't already know, Mr. Schmelsley also went on a full ride to CMSU. I got the chance to ask him, what did he like more, the high school experience or the college experience?
High school. Well, for one thing, we were more successful. I went to University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg, and we had winning teams there, and I had a great time playing there. But high school was more of a family feeling, and we won 2 state championships, my junior and senior year, which was obviously very satisfying.
Thanks, Mr. Schmelsley. Now, there are more sports out there besides football. Here's Davis Nichols with more.
Football. The sport that seems to get the most attention. I, for one, find this unjustful, and as such, I am here to show you the true glory of these sports. Which means I will have to go outside.
You know, Sydney, the grade year is ending soon. I could use some help with my grades.
Well, Jordan, I know someone who can help you. Here's Taylor Howe with some tips on keeping up your grades.
Thanks, Sydney. Well, fellow students, you've made it through your first month or so of school. You know what that means? The end of the grading period is upon us. Here are some tips to boost your grade before the end of the grading period. Tip number 1, ask your teachers for help. Tip number 2, study, study, study. Tip number 3, do any extra credit you can. Tip number 4, hack into the school mainframe and take matters into your own hands. Tip number 5, learn magic. Tip number 6, gain superhuman abilities, drop out of school and pursue the life of a superpowered vigilante. Tip number 7, make good grades all year round so you don't need to use these tips. And remember, Jags, use these tips, and you too can pass with flying colors. Back to you, Sydney and Jordan.
Thank you for watching this week's Jag TV.
Make sure to check out our website on jagtvnews.net.
And click on As Seen on Jag TV to get more information on our stories.
You're watching on AT&T UVerse 99 and Comcast 15.
See you all next week.